No. Morning, it's Eloise from Seeff North Coast, and my colleague Pen Herman is joining me, and we are chatting about how we work as an agency. Pen, welcome. I hope you are coping with lockdown.
I certainly am. It's tough times for all of us, but you know, onwards and upwards. And I say, when you're down, you get up and dust your knees off and keep moving forward. And I believe that this is going to also, as well as the negative effects this is having on us and being completely locked down and unable to show property, I do think that this, in the long run, is going to have a very positive effect on the property market in general, especially in our area. In Ballito, which is a rapidly growing area. So yeah, there's always some positivity. So looking forward to that.
That's good to hear. Pen, tell me a little bit about yourself and what is your area and your speciality that you work in?
Yeah, so I have been in the property industry for a number of years, fairly new to the Ballito area. I originally was a realtor in the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands, and probably just over almost 3 years ago, I moved down to Ballito. My husband and I relocated here, which has been the best thing we've ever done. We absolutely love living here. And yeah, I was lucky to join Seeff, and I came from another real estate company and moved across to Seeff, and I have just been so happy, and it's been the most wonderful experience, a different working experience, because Seeff's model is quite different to one would expect from the norm of the real estate industry. So, and I've embraced the system and the working together and very much teamwork, and I absolutely love it, and it's a system that works well. So it's exciting.
What is your specialized area? Because I know I work in Ballito Beachfront. That's why we work closely together, because a lot of our buyers cross-sell between each other. So what is your specialized area? What is your focus area?
So Eloise, I work in, my speciality area is Salt Rock and Sheffield Beach. I am very lucky to have the accreditation in Brettonwood and Dunkirk. So I really enjoy both of those estates and love working in them. And then in general, the whole of Sheffield and Salt Rock. I'm lucky in that I've got access to properties varying in value. So I've got my properties that, like, for example, the Sheffield Manors and the Sheffield Gardens, which are sort of our entry-level properties, and that's an exciting market, a market that moves very quickly, as well as the upmarket properties like the Dunkirks and the Brettonwoods, very exciting developments, as in Elaleni and Zululami, which are very exciting on my side of the area, and I'm just loving it. And there's just so much growth and action and movement here, and it's just such an exciting time to be in real estate.
Cool, that's great. Well, what I wanted actually, while we're doing the interview, is I think sometimes people don't understand how agencies work. We get that across a lot. When we go to a seller and we try to get a mandate from them, they always open up to all agencies, and we know for a fact that open mandates sell much slower and at a lower cost. It's just facts. We have the stats showing that. So what I want to get across to our agency, how we work, is that I work in the Ballito area, and we are a team that works in Ballito area, and you have a team that works in Salt Rock, Sheffield, that area. But what makes us different is that we can sell each other's stock. Okay, can you elaborate for the people out there that doesn't understand the real estate business? What does it mean for them?
Okay, so as I was saying earlier, this is the Seeff system, and it's a system that's quite unique to Seeff. It works very, very well. So if, for example, Eloise, you list a property in Ballito, I still have the ability to sell that property. So I can show my clients your property, and vice versa. The nice thing about having area specialists is that for me, it is very important that an agent understands the area. It's very important that an agent specializes in an area rather than being too broad and widely spread and not knowing your stock well. So, for example, how the Seeff system works, if I hear of someone who wants to sell their house in Ballito, I will simply refer that client to an agent that I feel is the best agent for that specific complex or area, or an agent that I feel would do the best job for that specific property and that specific client. And so that, for example, if it was a property in Ballito, I would refer it to you, example, Eloise, and you would list the property, and I would still be able to sell it. And vice versa. So, for example, if you had a friend wanting to sell her property or his property in Salt Rock or Sheffield, you would refer that property or that client seller to me. I would list it because I have specialized knowledge of this specific area. And for me, I think it's important that a buyer or a seller deal with a person who is au fait with the area, someone who understands the area, knows the stats, knows what the property market is doing in that specific area, and that they're getting specialized service rather than just a general, any agent can work in that area. I think it's definitely a system that works, and it's a system that I believe in.
Yeah, and the best thing about that is that if I have a mandate, say a sole mandate, I'm working in a house, it actually means that there is 12 other people working on that property, separate agents working on that property, because we all have our database with buyers that we work constantly with. It can range from 100 to 200 people that you're working with. But that means if I have a house, that 12 other people is marketed consistently to their buyers. So people say that you only one agent working in that, and that's actually not true in our case. I don't know what other agencies do and how they handle it, but we do this, and I think that's a thing that I want to get across to my sellers and even buyers, that we work together, and it means that the whole agency is actually working together, so not just the agent that you work with. So the conversation, they say they have to open it to all agencies, I think it's not valid, and I liked it too. That's a good thing for us in Seeff. That's what I like about the system. Okay, other question I have, do you have anything else you want to discuss? If you can tell your sellers or buyers anything from a estate agent point of view, because sometimes I think they think it's easy to be a estate agent. You just rock up, show them the house, sold, commission done, wonderful. And it's not the fact. We know that's not the fact. We work very hard for our money, and if we can't get money if it's not sold. So if you can tell your buyers and sellers anything, what will it be?
Do you know, Eloise, I often do have to have a chuckle in that people think that this job is so easy, and these silly estate agents just simply go and show you a house, and your client likes it and signs a piece of paper, and that's the end of the story. I really wish it was like that, and unfortunately for us, it's not that simple. There is an enormous amount of work that goes into buying or selling property. One must understand, often we get a mandate, and we will sell the property within a day or a couple of hours or a week or whatever, and then the sellers sort of say to us, well, you haven't really done any work on that property, so you've sold it so quickly, so I feel you should discount your commission. And my answer to that is, are you asking me for a discount because I've done my job really, really well? That doesn't seem to make any sense. And what often the clients don't realize is that when we list their properties, we don't just have a buyer that comes along off that property. We may have had a buyer that we've been working with for a year or 2 years who's looking for a specific property, and we've invested an enormous amount of time and energy on that specific buyer. When we list your house and we feel that this property could possibly suit Joe Soap, that we've been working with for a year or so, we then take them there and they enjoy the property and they decide to put in an offer. So to the seller, that would seem that it's just been a day or two's work, whereas to the agent and to the buyer, there's been a huge amount of history and work and investment that's gone into that buyer for a couple of months, or even sometimes it's been years before. So, then there's the whole process of the deal. It's organizing the inspections, it's seeing that the property is transferred smoothly in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of hassle. We try and take all the hassle off the buyer and the seller, that they can just have a smooth transaction. And that is the wonderful thing about Seeff too, is that we've got an incredible support team. We've got our admin team that support us hugely. We've got our conveyancing section that sees that the transfers are all done smoothly and liaises with the attorneys and with the inspection people. And it really just is a great system that works so well. Our jobs are hard, and one must also remember that when we do conclude a deal, there are probably 4 or 5 deals in the meantime that haven't concluded. So it is a huge amount of work, and it is a tough job. The industry is tough, it's hard. There are a lot of us trying to survive in this market. For me, it's important that all agents should support each other, even across different agencies. It's important that we support each other. We are in this together. So, yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we, especially now coming after COVID, we will have to have more approach from inter-agency connections, because there's work for all of us, and that approach from do or die, I think it's going to change, and hopefully it will change. Pen, thank you very much for the interview. What is the one thing you would do after lockdown is done? I know what it is, but what will it be?
First of all, I cannot wait to get back into the office, reconnect with all my colleagues and hear how they've all survived lockdown. Not that we're not communicating. I mean, we do communicate via WhatsApps and Zoom interviews and that, etc. But just to actually just get together and have a good old laugh. I really miss the camaraderie in our office. We do have a lot of fun while, in amongst doing some jolly hard work. And I just really want to connect with my clients again. It's been rather a strange time, and I just feel I need to reconnect with my clients, my buyers, my sellers, actually on a face-to-face, and just sort of have that human contact again. That's why I'm in the job. I love it. I love my human contact, and without it, it makes life quite tough. So yes, I'm desperate to get back into my office and get things cracking again.
Yeah, that's hard time for our ages, because we are extroverts in the sense of the word, and now we're locked and we can't talk to people. I'm going crazy. My husband's introvert. He loves it. He's like, stay at home as long as he can. He loves it. I'm going crazy. But anyway, thank you, Pen, for the interview. I appreciate it. It was good talking to you. And anybody out there that's wants to have more information about how we do it and if we can help you with anything in the property market, please let us know. Pen Herman, Eloise.Boshoff from Seeff North Coast. Have a great day. Bye.
So much, Eloise.